Disclaimer: the Piggy community has been working so hard to find the true ending. They found it before we could even release this video. But we thought we would show you just what we were all thinking before we found it. At least that way we can all laugh at ourselves for how wrong we were. But don't worry, if you stick around until the end, we'll show you just how to get the true ending. Hey, sup? Another day has gone by, and still nobody has found the true ending to Piggy Chapter 12. Well, apart from Minitoon and Luckiest. But I've heard you've been doing some investigation work so you can be the first player to discover the true ending to Piggy. Since you're so knowledgeable about all the clues and hints we've gathered so far, I think you should show us 5 things you didn't know about the true ending in Roblox Piggy. With all the mystery floating around, combined with the fake findings some trolls in the community have been creating, we need someone to bring it all together, to bring all the true endings to one place. And that video is that place, sub. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started. Number 1. While the way to get the true ending may still be unknown, the thing that has all the players excited is what the true ending could be. We've made an entire video about what could be behind the true ending. Well, sub, what if I told you that hackers and exploiters may have already found the contents of the true ending? Seriously, nowhere is safe, but nobody can know for definite. But what I can show you is some pretty compelling evidence. While in the part of Chapter 12 where you have to make your decision to leave with George or stay with Mr. P, hackers have found by flying out of the map that there are 4 black boxes that are not seen anywhere else and are most likely used for a cutscene. The first of the cubes features Mr. P standing next to an empty hospital bed. Now, of course, nobody can be certain yet, but since it's empty, I think when the real cutscene takes place, you as the player are probably in the hospital bed. The following cubes show scenes of Mr. P standing with the Piggy family, apart from George, and then in a science lab, and then in the final cube, he can be seen looking sad in the front of the helicopter. Now, I'm not sure about you, sub, but that sounds a lot like a recap of the story to me. The only difference between those events and the ones we believe to be true is the person in the hospital bed. The whole time, we thought it would be Mrs. P in the hospital bed, but with the empty bed, it looks like it might be you instead. Completely changing what we thought we knew about the story. Number 2. Minitoon's clues. If there's one place all Piggy players should be looking at to find hints and clues on the true ending, it's Minitoon's Twitter. I mean, he did create the game after all. If there's anyone that knows about the true ending, it's him. Minitoon has tweeted out numerous hints about how to get to the true ending, like this first one where he tweeted a quote that said, "Take this with you. Remember me by it. Don't lose this too." Now, nobody is certain who said this quote, or what it's even referring to, but we can certainly make an educated guess. The first theory players have come up with is that this quote was said by Mrs. P to Mr. P when talking about the photo. This could be totally possible since we think Mrs. P may have died because of a disease that Mr. P was trying to cure. But it also could mean that you need to bring an item over from another chapter somehow, like Bunny's crossbow before you lose her on a metro map, or maybe even Doggy's bone from the gallery map. Another hint Minitoon has given us is in the form of emojis. He tweeted out 4 square emojis arranged in this pattern. Now, I'm not sure about you, sub, but that looks just like the information of the rooms on Chapter 12. But that looks just like the formation of the rooms on Chapter 12. The colors of the roofs also correspond with not only the lights on the walls of the main plan area, but also the colors of the pig's family clothes. There's no way that's a coincidence, sub. However, there's always a possibility it's not those rooms at all. Maybe it could even be the cabins on the forest map. I mean, they feature in the final outro cutscene of Chapter 12 after all. Hey! Are you enjoying the video so far? Well, there's plenty more just like it on the Blox World YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to make sure you never miss a future video. Number 3. Hospital Suspicions. What a lot of players didn't realize when first playing the hospital map when it was first released is that it might play a huge role in the true ending of the game. For a start, there's a secret note left by Mr. P on the plant map, talking about how he's had to move his research from the hospital to the plant. This already confirms that the hospital played some sort of a role in the piggy infection. But it doesn't end there, sub. Have you ever noticed just how similar plant is to the hospital map? I mean, just look at the way you have to use the key cards and potions to make it to the second part of the map. That's just like how you escape the hospital map. There's still more to explore though, sub. Each map used in the distorted memory part of the plant map is in sequential order according to the story, except hospital is missed out. It's just forest, school, metro, and carnival. Number 4. Multi-step ending. If there's one thing most players got wrong after first trying to find the true ending, it's the way the true ending would be found. Most players thought it would be a simple trick they could perform on Chapter 12, and suddenly they would get the true ending. However, we now know it's not that easy. In fact, it's way more complicated than that, sub. Minitoon has since confirmed that there are multiple steps to completing the true ending. And we also know that if we found one, it would be super obvious, like he said in response to a tweet from fellow YouTuber Craft. It's still completely possible that all the steps take place on the plant map itself. Maybe there's a sequence of secret steps you need to take to finally be offered the true ending at the end of the map. However, the steps could also be spread across previous Piggy chapters, especially since Minitoon added a note to one of his tweets where he said all the steps would be found in Piggy. That doesn't necessarily mean inside Chapter 12, but just inside Piggy. Although, like many other players, I think the true ending steps must be found on other Piggy chapters, since dedicated Piggy players have spent hours and days, almost weeks, analyzing Chapter 12, looking for secret clues, and nobody has found anything noteworthy. Have you learned something new from this video? Or maybe you just stumbled across it as a useful recap of the true ending findings so far? Well, hey, you should subscribe and like the video. Not only does it help support our channel, but it helps us grow, expand, and make more new content for people at home just like you. And what better? It's entirely free. Number 5. Previous completions. One thing that happened soon after Chapter 12 was released certainly piqued the interest of many Piggy players, and that was Minitoon and ItsFunneh getting the true ending badge. At first, players were freaking out thinking that somebody had finally found the true ending, only to find out it was the developers after all. But one thing that caught the attention of the eagle-eyed players was the fact that Minitoon had also got the Outpost badge just before getting the true ending badge. And also, ItsFunneh got the Forest Completion badge just before getting the true ending badge. Of course, this sent tons of players flocking towards both of those maps to try and discover any hidden secrets that might be hiding in there. However, a lot of players also believe that every map needed to be completed before the true ending could be unlocked. As we already know, the forest map features the 4 cabins that could relate to the 4 squares, given as a hint on Minitoon's Twitter. Maybe the cabins have more to do with the ending than we first thought, sub. Ooh, who knows? And on the Outpost map, we have a ghost of Bunny in the Watchtower. Maybe that could be what the quote hint given on Minitoon's Twitter is talking about. Maybe you have to take something of Bunny's through to Chapter 12 with you. Nobody can be sure for certain. It's even possible Minitoon and ItsFunneh could have gotten these badges just to confuse everybody and throw them off track to slow down their progress of finding the true ending. Hey, do you have any ideas of your own on how to get the true ending? Or maybe you even have some clues and hints that we haven't even mentioned in this video. Let us know in the comments. Number 6. The true ending. Did you see what I did, sub? I pretended I had no idea, but I knew all along. And like I said at the start, sub, the Piggy community has found the true ending, and we've been getting comments non-stop. I think it's time we give the attention it needs. And of course, after investigating for so long, we just have to show how it's done right. So, if you don't want to be spoiled, now's the time to click off. The true ending begins on the city map, on the Players Plus Bot game mode. Why Player Plus Bot and why City? Player Plus Bot is known to be the least played game mode, so that's the best place to hide something if you don't want it to be found. Finding the photo of Mrs. P behind the dark purple car. Once you found the photo, you'll need to escape just like normal. Just make sure you don't put the photo down, or it'll disappear for good. Now that you've escaped, you'll need to play through the entirety of the plant map. Now you're at the decision between the good and bad ending. You need to select the bad ending sub. I know. Doesn't sound right, does it? But trust me, that's the one you want to pick. And there you go. And now you can watch the true ending cutscene and uncover the real story of Piggy for yourself. And so, the search for the true ending is over. It was certainly inspirational seeing the Piggy community being brought together one last time. Don't worry though, sub. I'm sure this isn't the last we'll see of Piggy. I bet Minitoon has a ton of updates in store. Thanks for liking and subscribing, everyone. We'll catch you next time.